Hey, what is going on YouTube? My name is James and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Autodromo Stradale, or Stradale, however you pronounce it. It's this word right here. It's an absolutely beautiful watch and I can't wait to get into detail with you guys about Autodromo and this watch. Before we get started, I am wearing the Seiko V. This is a watch you haven't seen on the channel yet. It's a watch that's actually from 1997, so it's actually my birth year watch, and I've been wanting a Seiko V for ages. State of the collection coming soon, so keep an eye out. Also, this watch was in the list to be sold, but is recently, or not so recently, been sold to a friend of mine. She absolutely loves it. I'll put a picture of her wearing it on screen, like her wrist and everything, and it just looks so good. And because of the size and dimensions, which we'll get into, it can kind of fit like any size wrist, which is just incredible. Also, a big thank you to my dad, who actually had this watch for around a week and wrote up a little bit of a review as well. So we'll be using some of his notes and also some of mine and mixing the two, and I'll let you know his thoughts and opinions and then my thoughts. So before we get started, Autodromo is actually a fairly new micro brand that came around. I think it's around 2012. I couldn't actually find the exact date, but I think it's between 2010 and 2012. Now, the story behind Autodromo, based on their website, is the world of Autodromo is a creative vision of founder Bradley Price, an industrial designer who set out to craft unique products that express the spirit of motoring. The product draws aesthetic inspiration from a golden age of motoring, when driving required style, panache, and perhaps a little bit of danger. Now, I love that. I love that they've wrote that on their website, you know, referring back to when driving actually took skill and, like, a lot of danger. I'm not saying it doesn't anymore, I'm just saying it's nowhere near what it used to be, and I think everyone can agree with that. And that's why when I saw this watch, I was just absolutely blown away by it. And for those of you wondering, this was originally Andy's, the guy who sent me the Oris and everything. This was originally Andy's. He actually said he wore this watch a lot, and there's a little bit of wear on it, nothing drastic at all. But yeah, you can tell this is one of the few watches he wore, like, a lot more than the rest. And you can see why. It's a beautiful watch, and knowing a couple of the vintage cars he owns, it just, I can imagine wearing this, like, driving one of them. Personally, if I ever own a Mustang one day, a 69 Mustang, I'm going to be buying this back off him, and I'm going to be wearing this watch, that's for sure. Okay, without any further ado, let's switch it up and take a closer look at the watch. So here is the beautiful watch up close. Let me just give it a quick wipe. It is absolutely beautiful. Here it is up close. Look at that. That is such a striking red minute hand right there. It's just beautiful. And this, like, almost like center point, I don't know how to explain that, is actually on the domed crystal, as you can see right there. It's not actually like inside, which is really cool. It's a cool aesthetic touch in my opinion. By the way, please forgive me and my dry hands. The weather's been pretty bad. I've been working non-stop. This is my first day off in quite a while, so I'm making the most of it, and yeah, just forgive me for that. But anyway, let's get into it. This watch new costs $875, which is about £660, though anywhere I can see in the UK is about £800. Like new. At second-hand market, you can probably pick them up for around 400 roughly, if not a bit less. It uses the Miyota 9015, as you can see right there, which is an automatic 24 jewel made to compete with the likes of the ETA and stuff like that. It's an absolutely incredible movement. It's really reliable, really robust, and just works. It works a charm. This does have a calendar, as you can see right there, which can be changed in the first position, like so. And it is a very satisfying change. Obviously, it also has, well, not obviously, but with this movement, if you pull it out, the crown all the way, it has hacking, as you can see right there, and a very smooth change of time. So there we go. It does have a sapphire crystal both on the front and on the back, so that is very cool that you're getting two sapphire crystals rather than some watch companies. They'll put a sapphire on the front and then just a mineral glass on the back, but this is using sapphire on both. It has a stainless steel case, which is in this very unusual shape. It has a water resistance of 5 ATM, which is 5 atmospheres, which is 50 meters, so everyday use. Definitely won't go diving with it. It has this beautiful brown leather strap, as you can see right here, which is just really, really comfortable. And as you can see, the lugs are drilled and they're integrated. So changing of the strap is a nightmare, but it is very, very comfortable. It wears very well. And yeah, for a 40mm watch, which is the diameter, it wears more like a 37, 38 due to these lugs just being like sewn off. Let me quickly give you kind of like a wrist shot, not a proper wrist shot, but there it is on the wrist. You can see how well that just wears. You know, let's put it next to my Seiko V, which is a 37mm watch, and you can see that because of the lugs, yes, it wears wider, but in terms of like actual size, it's nothing crazy. The case thickness is 10.8mm, which is nothing drastic at all. And the strap width is 18mm. Now, as you can see on the dial, it does have like a real sense of depth because it has this ring around the outside with the numerals, and then it also has this inner ring with like the indices around the inside, showing the hour markers, and then in between each one is like the 2.5 marker. So obviously right there is 2.5 minutes, 5 minutes, 7.5 minutes, 10 minutes, and so on and so on. So it does have this real sense of depth, and you even get shadow play on the dial in certain like areas. Also, you can see the 2 screws on the dial, which is a nice little feature. You have the Autodromo logo at the top right there, Stradale at the bottom with automatic written there as well. It is a very, very handsome piece. That red the red's minute hand is just beautiful, and that really, really high shine hour hand just makes it really easy to read the time at a glance. Now, Stradale, or however you pronounce it, means road going in Italian, which is really, really cool. It draws inspiration from the 1950s and 60s with a multi-layered dial. Unique beneath the domed sapphire crystal, the hour indices are applied to the transparent glass ring. So that's actually a glass ring on the inside, which creates a three-dimensional effect. Inside the packaging is a vintage inspired map of northern Italy. I don't have the packaging with me, unfortunately. Yim has that, but just be aware, it's very, very cool. I think I showed it in the unboxing anyway. So that was written by my dad. Very, very cool. Thank you for finding that out. I did not know Stradale meant road going in Italian, which is really, really cool. And just to emphasize on that domed crystal, you see it here. So you're looking down, you know, and then look at this. You ready? Look at that. That is just incredible. You can see how domed that is right there. It's beautiful. I love that. That is so, so cool. So I'm going to quickly go through my dad's pros and cons, and then go through my pros and cons. I don't want this review to be too long and too drawn out. My dad said it's a beautiful dial with the 50s, 60s style. Concave crystal, legible hands, fixed lugs suits the style, open case back. Very comfortable to wear, uncluttered dial, adds to the aesthetic, great timekeeping and power reserve. His cons are it's got no loom, fixed lugs meaning strap change is difficult, stainless steel edges on the dial, a little rough maybe due to wear and tear. So his comment was to me, and he mentioned it a few times, is that these feel really sharp. And I have to kind of agree with him. The edges are really sharp, like not sharp as in you'll cut your finger, but in terms of like a watch, they definitely are sharp, and in certain areas they do feel a bit sharper. That could be down to wear and tear, but it's just a point I want to make, that it is quite sharp. Another point I've found after having this watch is this wind. I don't know if you can hear it, but so it's a really unsatisfying wind. I'm going to be honest. It just feels like what a watch would feel like if it hasn't been serviced in like 10 years with a wind. It's just really sticky, and when you wind it, there's like a little bit of a screeching noise. Yes, an actual screeching noise, which just makes me believe it's not lubricated properly, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Something's going on inside, in my opinion, because that shouldn't be like that. Oh, by the way, it has got a signed crown right there, which is really, really cool. But yeah, that's one of the cons, in my opinion, that I've found recently. Is just that wind is horrible. If you own this watch, let me know if that's the same for you, or if it's just this one just needs a service, maybe. But it's not even that old. I think it's like max like a year and a bit. So I don't know. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. The edges are a little sharp, and the integrated lugs, as cool as they look, make strap changing a little bit of a nightmare. And the straps for these are not the cheapest. So if you go through straps quite quickly, I probably wouldn't advise this watch. I'm going to be totally honest. Now, my pros for this watch: it is aesthetically probably one of the nicest watches I think I've seen, and that's a big statement. That is a big statement, because I love my SKX, I love the Oris, I love all the watches I own, but this one just speaks to me. That vintage style dial that is inspired by racing, I look at this and I just see 60s and 70s race cars, And to me, that is just like the coolest thing ever, that a watch is not only just, and this is the comparison I usually use. Most watch companies, when they do a racing inspired watch, they create a normal modern day looking watch and just throw the logo on. You know, I'm not going to mention any names of any brands that do it, but they just throw a like BMW or something on the dial and like, hey, here's your racing watch, enjoy. No, this hasn't even put any sort of logo on that is like a car logo. They've gone, you know what, we're going to actually take inspiration and make a watch that will represent that people can wear with their car and actually, you know, get that feeling that it was made in the same era kind of thing. And this really speaks to that. With that 3-dimensional dial as well, it is absolutely beautiful. Aesthetically, this watch is incredible. If you're looking for an absolutely beautiful watch that works really well, this is absolutely brilliant. And as I was saying, with these integrated lugs and the way they sort of slope down like this, and how small they are, and how this leather strap is tiny, it is truly really small. Like, just to put it into comparison with this 18mm strap, look at the thickness difference, and this is an 18mm strap. You know, it's tiny, but because of that, it can fit almost any wrist. I swear, like, I've got a 6 3/4 inch wrist, and it wears nicely on my wrist as well. Let me show you properly. There we go. That's how it wears on my wrist. It wears nicely. And my friend, she has probably like a 5 and a bit, like just over 5. I don't know, just probably like 5.5. I really don't know what size her wrist is. And she can wear this with confidence as well. It looks absolutely brilliant on her wrist. It doesn't stand too high. And because of them integrated lugs, it slopes down perfectly. The strap just slopes around the wrist and just is such a comfortable watch. And another thing with this watch, because of the color combination with the cream dial, it can be worn in almost any situation. I've found you put shorts on, I feel you can wear this watch. I've wore this watch in shorts. You know, wearing a shirt, you can wear this watch. You know, I've matched this with my maroon shirt, and it looks absolutely beautiful with this dark brown strap with the highlights of red with the cream and grey. It just looks incredible. So this is a really functional watch in terms of dressability, and also in just terms of legibility, and also comfort and build quality and everything. Like I said, with the movement, I'm not too sure if that really unsatisfying wind is this one, or just maybe a problem all round. That's going to have to be found out through hearing your guys' opinion if you own this watch. It does have this very nice decoration on the back, on the case back, as you can probably see. The movement is slightly decorated, nothing crazy, as you can see right there. And I think that rotor, they may, I don't know if this is, I don't think it is, I think it's just like done that design. So Bolivar actually they etch their rotors in gold dust, not gold dust, sorry, diamond dust, and that's kind of what it looks like. It looks similar to that, but I'm not too sure on that, so I won't comment on that anymore. So overall, beautiful watch, absolutely satisfying to wear, looks brilliant on the wrist, is so comfortable, it's a great watch. I definitely don't see how you can go wrong. The edges are a little sharp, that's something to be made aware of. The sizing is just perfect for any wrist. The manual wind on this one is not very satisfying at all. Date changing and changing time is very satisfying. It's very sharp, it's very to the point, it's beautiful. So overall, a great watch, and you cannot go wrong. Beautiful watch. Go pick one up if you're interested. So there you have it, guys. That was the review for the Autodromo. Absolutely love this piece. It is truly amazing. And if I didn't take the Oris, I probably would have taken this piece. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm glad to know a friend, a very good friend who I see all the time, owns this watch, because it means I can steal it as often as I like. And I'm truly in love with this watch. It's so beautiful, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see me buying it back off her one day in the future, and it'll be part of my collection again. It is just beautiful. Don't tell her I said that, because she loves this watch so much as well that I don't think she'll part with it. But there you have it. I want to say a big thank you to Andy for sending us this watch. One to review, one to sell on, and one so it's near me as well, because I sold it to a friend. And two, I want to say a big thank you to my dad for helping me out with this review. Let me know if you like hearing his input as well in these videos, because he's got experience with watches the same as I have. And it's just great to hear an alternative opinion in the same video. So not only do you get my opinion, but you also get his. Although there were very similar opinions, I'm sure in the future they won't be. So that's why I want to do this. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. This is my only day off of the week. I think my next day off might be Sunday. I'm not too sure. So I'm going to make the most of today. I'm going to record a lot of videos. So if you see this same outfit don't think I'm an absolute scumbag. Also, I have had some issues with some spots, so if my face looks disgusting, please don't hate on me for that either. I can't help it. I'm trying my best. So yeah, thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Take care, guys.